Good afternoon. Here are my sketches for the project proposal, or part of the project proposal. We're going to start with the login screen. I wanted to keep it fairly simple. On the left will be an image of some sort, keeping in line with the Keep Going First Aid, whether it's a background that I create using their colors and patterns or a picture of the family or something of that nature. Wanted to include the logo up top with a nice little welcome message, simple little login, a forget password. Then, if you don't have an account, you can register, which most of our participants are going to get a link and it's going to bring them here, so they'll register. Oops. And here is what the participants will see. I wanted to give them their own little dashboard and go beyond just a form. So the form will be within the dashboard itself, but they'll also have access to limited things versus what the instructors or the sales executives would have. They can update their personal information, take surveys to help with feedback that the instructors and sales executives can use to improve the program, access to digital versions of their certifications, additional resources if they feel like they need some help after the class, a little about us for the Keep Going themselves, and then your obvious settings, contact us, and help. Every dashboard view, whether it's the instructor or the sales executive or the participant, will have a communication little hub where it's messaging within the dashboard, and integration, email integration, and then general notifications such as for the participant when their certifications are ready for them to be downloaded, or they need to fill out missing information or something of that sort, and then a login photo or avatar if they choose to do so. At the top, they'll see a little brief description of the class, input all their personal information. They'll have a link down here where they can click and read the safety waiver. And then once they do so, they'll check the box to cover insurance information and whatnot for the Keep Going First Aid company. There'll be a brief little available classes here where they'll select. Now that I'm looking at it, I wish I would have put in like some kind of like scroll option or like buttons here to keep going if these dates don't work for them. But they'll just select. I tried to shade it in with my pencil to notate that they've selected this one. Obviously, in the design, I'll use like a colored button that'll change the color once they've selected it. Their payment information, and then just confirmation details, the date of the class, all that good stuff, and then they'll book and pay here, and that'll complete it. But they'll be able to log back in here at any time to look at, take a post-class survey, or do their pre-class survey if they forgot about it while they were signing up, and access to their resources and certification. Next is the schedule overview for the instructor. I kind of wanted to make a giant calendar where each little box will have some pertinent details, the main details that you need about each class, how many participants, what the class is, if it's infants or adults or children, first aid, CPR, all of that good stuff. And then kind of bring it over here where each day there'll be all of the classes will kind of be listed out in each day as like a little snapshot for them, for this week. They can view it in week, month, or day. And then for their calendar, their schedule, essentially, they can either view just the classes, just their meetings within the Keep Going personnel themselves, or all the events all together. They can add classes as they need to, add meetings that might not have been put on the schedule previously. They can search certain events that they're trying to find, filter certain things out. And then over here is all the other things that if I had the time, I would also make pages for, such as like a tool inventory to make sure that they have mannequins ready to go, and checked out, any like CPR face masks, anything tool related that they might need to instruct the class would be kept in a log here. And then their additional resources, any pamphlets that they might need to print out to hand to their people, all of that good stuff. Surveys that people have taken, certifications that they might need to check off as completed, and then their personal metrics. So all of the people that they've taught, all of the classes they've taught, how they went, what information they got from the survey, all that good stuff would be in there. And then in class details, I wanted to break it down just a little bit more, so into each specific class. So you'll get an overview of the class, the day, the name, all the participants, including all their basic information, any notes they might need to know, like do they have health conditions, all that good stuff, whether they completed the pre-class survey, a little snapshot of today's schedule, just to keep them kind of on track, and then a to-do list to also keep them on track if they need to sign out certain equipment or print pamphlets or anything like that. It just kind of keeps them all organized within the class. The dashboard for the sales executive, I wanted to make the main dashboard obviously like a snapshot where it contains a little bit of everything, and then when you click in on the side, it'll essentially like blow some of these things up and get really specific. So up top you have like the number of participants to date, the number of classes to date, the sales to date, our profit to date, whether we're below target or above target, a cost breakdown where you've got your total sales here, but what we had to spend for marketing or what we had to spend to pay the instructors, or any resources that we needed, whether we needed new mannequins or new pamphlets, whatnot, and then that profit that's left over. I also thought it would be kind of smart to put in a chart for demographic by location. I did it in a class previously, so you kind of know who to market towards next, what neighborhoods seem to be really interested in taking these, so you can mail out pamphlets there, so you're not wasting your money sending it to places like here or here where people just aren't really interested. And then you've got a calendar view of the classes. I'll be putting like little bubbles or circles or changing the color of the numbers, essentially to let them know what days have classes, and then the total bookings for the month, the total participants for the month, and the total sales for the month to date. And then a brief little client list with details about them, whether they're a corporation or an individual, any notes that might be smart for the sales executive to, if they need to reach back out to them, we know we can offer them more classes or different products or something of that nature. And then I wanted to give them a snapshot of the instructors' metrics as well, how many classes they've taught, how many participants they've taught, what the surveys are saying about them, stuff like that. I know this is a little bit more detailed than a usual sketch, but just for my brain to kind of grasp what I was doing, I had to write it out a little bit more, or else I was kind of getting off track and forgetting what I was putting in where. So I hope that's okay. And I'm realizing again that I'm talking a little bit too much, so I do apologize about that. I do hope that you're faring well with the storm that is coming. My little sister had to be helped to evacuate from St. Petersburg with her newborn baby. So we definitely understand all the troubles. Hope you're faring well. Thank you. Bye-bye.